Alright guys, so in this method I'm going to talk about the age displayed method, right? So age displayed method is like a boolean method, right? It actually returns true or false if the given the value is displayed on the web page or not, right? So based on that it is going to display the value, right? So uh, in this scenario, like what we are doing is like you can see in the first one, I'm using the same facebook.com website and some of the web element as in the previous example. So what change I've done is like instead of like get text, now I've changed to is display. So you can see like its return type is as boolean. So it checks like if this element displayed or not, right? So since it is a boolean return value, right? So I'll just set it as boolean. And if this element is displayed, right, if this element is displayed, then it is going to return as true. If it is not, then it will return as false. So let me modify this to like age displayed, right? So age displayed, since this is returning a boolean value, so I'm just to replace it with boolean, then login, say it's login here, and just say it's displayed here. Just replace with this, right? And if I run this, right, so since it's displayed is like returning as a boolean value, so return type I have set it as boolean. So if the element that we are trying to hit is present on the web page and it is displayed, then in that scenario it is going to return as true, uh, right? And if it is not present, then it will return as false, right? So let me quickly run this. Let me format it and then I'll. All right, so let me quickly run this. So you can see all these three web elements are displayed on this web page and it is returning as true, right? So this is how we can get the status of any web element, whether it is displayed or not. And based on that, we can perform further validation and assertion, right? So that's all in this video. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Hi guys, welcome to the FullStackSDET channel. So in this video, I'm going to talk about another method that is enabled method. So is enabled method is like it is also a boolean method like the previous one, right? Which selected, right? So basically, this method what it does is like it checks for the status whether the element is whether the element is enabled or not. Because there can be scenario like we are performing some action and uh, before performing the action it is not going to be enabled, so we have to ensure like some of the web element action has to happen and then only the some other web element is getting activated. So this method is basically useful in that particular scenario to check the check whether the web element is enabled or not. If it is not enabled, then it is going to return as false. If it is enabled, it is going to return as true. So let's try to understand this using this particular example, right? So I'll say like a system dot println, and then I'll say username dot is enabled. So let us see if this name field is enabled or not. Likewise, let me quickly check it for password field, because sometimes what happens is like in real time, some of the fields or some of the web element is disabled. So in that scenario, we have to particularly use this method to check their status, right? And based on that, we have to perform the required operation there, right? Let's run it and see if it is returning true or false. All right, so you can see like it is returned true for both the web element, but there can be some of the examples in which the web elements might not be enabled, right? And before and unless and until we perform some action, it is not going to be enabled. So that's how it works actually. So that's all in this video about this method. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Hey guys, welcome to the FullStackSDET channel. So in this video, I'm going to talk about another method, which is like its selected method. So its selected method is basically like it's a Boolean method which checks like whether checkbox it is selected or not. If it is not selected, then it is going to return as Boolean false. If it is selected, then it is going to return like Boolean true, right? So let me try to go through this particular sample of the demo website, right? So this is the website I have taken. So this is the internet hero view app, right? So if I just try to inspect this checkbox, right? Let's say like type is equal to checkbox, and I think there are two checkboxes here, which is why it is giving matching node as two. So what I'll do is like I'll say not find element by node XPath. I'll pass these XPath and perform the click, right? And after that, what I'll do is like I'll just print or I'll just check the status of this particular checkbox after performing the click operation right on this checkbox. So what I'll do is like I'll just capture on this particular checkbox as web element checkbox one, right? And I'll say checkbox one is enabled. It's selected, right? So you can see the documentation. What it says is like it determines whether this element is selected or not, right? This operation only applies to the input element such as checkboxes option in a select or in radio buttons, right? So basically it is mainly for checkboxes and the radio buttons, right? So we can check whether they are selected or not. So let us quickly run this and I'll check about a bit so that it will close the browser and let's get the status of it. So you can see it is false, right? And why it is false? So let's now close this time so that we can see like what is the actual status. So we are referring to the first checkbox. Let's see how it is behaving. So first one is like unchecked, right? So what is the status as false? So it is right. Since it is not selected, so it is giving us as false over here initially. But when I run it one more time, right? So what I will do is like I'll just hit on this dot click and then I'll print this. And let's see, this time it should be selected and it should have the status as true. All right, so it has selected the first checkbox and this time it is having the status as true, right? So basically this method is now actually checking the status of this particular checkbox. If it is selected, then it is going to check return as true. If it is not selected, then it is false. So sometimes in the real-time scenario, we have to check like whether the checkbox is selected or not. If it is not selected, then we have to make the checkbox selection, because what happens normally in the real-time scenario is, let's say some user has already selected that particular checkbox, and when the automation execution happens, then what happens is like it is not going to perform. It is going to perform the click on that particular job, so it will be like unchecked, right? So in that scenario, it is going to perform a check. We'll be writing a script logic to check whether the checkbox is selected or not. If it is not selected, then only it is going to perform the click or operation on the checkbox. All right, so it is going to check the checkbox. Otherwise, it is not performing the checking there, right? So that's how it works in the real time. So that's all in this video. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching. All right, guys. In this video, I'm going to talk about like uh, about the getText method, right? So getText method is responsible for getting the text from a given web element, right? So you can see like here we have this web element. So we have identified this over here, and if I just go back to this implementation, you can see it is getting the one second. So just say like this, get text. So it is getting the visible, not hidden by CSS text of this web element, including the sub elements, right? So basically it is going to return the visible text of this web element. So that is the job of this get text web element, right? So right now I have implemented it into on this facebook.com, right? So what I'm doing is like I'm inspecting this element, identifying this particular web element using this XPath, right? And trying to like get the text of this web element. So if I show you here on the website, right? So I'm just trying to get the text of this portion, right? This is the subtext, you can say, for this particular website. So using /h2, it is matching. I'm getting the XPath for this like this, and if I run this, it should get me the XPath, I mean the text for that web element, right? So you can see like it has got the complete entire string that was matching with this particular h2 tag over here, right? So like this we can use the getText method. So let us try to inspect some of the more element and try to get the text of this login button, right? You can see there is a text over here, so you can get the text using this getText method, and also this create new account button. So on this button you can get this particular text and you can just perform the assertion, right? So that is the objective here. So let's try to inspect this login button. So I think we have name here, so let me copy this name. One second. Driver dot find element by dot name. I'll just pass this name and I'll say get text, and I'll say login text, right? And just I'll print this login text. And similarly, what I'll do is just I'll copy this. I'll try to get the text for this create new account button. So let me inspect this. So since this is having the ID, I guess. So let me see. Yes, we have text over here. So let me see if this works. Otherwise, I'll just try to inspect using some other attribute, right? So this is for create, new and text. And I'll just pass it over here. All right, so we got some exceptions because of this ID, I guess. Let me see where it to the exception, no such element. Okay, I think this is a dynamic part. Let me see if I can use some other locator value here. So let me go to this. We have ID, which is like dynamic here. So maybe, all right, so what I'll do is like I'll just try to form the XPath using this text only. So what I'll do is like say okay, contents, and then we have like text is create. Yes, it is matching. All right, so we are getting like 4 matching node here, but as per the concept, right? So this is the first matching node, so we can use it because it is final element is going to pick up the first matching node here, so not a problem for us in this particular scenario. But for others, you will have to like uniquely identify this element. So let us run this and see if it fetching the right value. All right, so we got the text. So you can see like these 3 texts we got it using the getText method. So like this, we can get the text for any web element or the web page, and then we can perform the like automation testing using this approach. All right, so that's this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.